He was alone, forgotten, until one person refused to let him suffer. What if Kushina took her son away, and raised the true legend of the Uzumaki? Chapter 1, Prologue. Vanex. Hello all. Here is a new story. It's going to be an interesting experience with this one, considering it isn't my original idea. Credit goes to Mystic Six-Tailed Naruto, for issuing the challenge. Disclaimer. I do not own Naruto. Normal talking. Thinking, dreams, flashbacks. QB talking. QB thinking. Scene change. Prologue. Everyone in Konoha knows the story of October 10th, the day the QB attacked Konoha. The story says that the fourth Hokage faced down and defeated the demon. That story is told to the kids. The adults know that the fourth had no choice but to seal it in a human host. The civilian adults and some of the ninja adults ignore this and believe the fourth trapped the QB in a human form, so the host is the demon. The remaining ninja adults know better. The host and the demon are two separate entities forced to share a body. Even less people, including the third Hokage, know that the boy is the son of the fourth. However, the story was still inaccurate. There were details kept from everyone. The true story is only known by Danzo, Orochimaru, Kabuto, and Orochimaru's new apprentice. Scene change. Kushina cries out in pain. Minato, I'm going to rip your head off for doing this to me. Push, Kushina, push, yells Bawako Sarutobi. I'm pushing, damn it. We're almost there. Hold the seal, Minato. I'm trying. Suddenly, the crying of an infant is heard. Bawako smiles. He's a healthy baby boy. She brings the infant over to Kushina, who looks at him lovingly. Naruto. I finally get to see you. Minato smiles at the scene, but the smile soon fades. Shit. The seal's breaking. I can't hold it. Get clear everyone. Beams of red energy are expelled from Kushina's body. They come together to form a giant fox with 9 flowing tails. Free at last. Now I can take my revenge against that pathetic village. The QB turns away and charges off in the direction of Konoha. Minato stumbles out of the ruins. Damn it. Kushina. Are you okay? I'm fine. Minato pushes aside some rubble and finds an injured Kushina. Gotta love Uzumaki vitality. Where's Naruto? Minato turns to the sound of crying. He uses the Rasengan to destroy more rubble and finds Bawako, who shielded Naruto from the QB's release. He checks her pulse. She's dead. Naruto's fine though. Kushina holds her arms out for Naruto. Give me my son. I can't do that. Kushina is surprised. Minato is denying her their son. Why not? The QB is going to destroy Konoha if I don't stop him. I'll just pull the QB back into my body. Doing this will destroy both him and me, but the threat will be gone forever. With the QB gone, we'll be at a major disadvantage to the others' villages. They all have Jinchuriki of their own. If they learn of our losing the QB, they will destroy us. I need to create a new Jinchuriki. Understanding dawns on Kushina. You plan to make our son the new host. You care about power more than our own son. The life of a Jinchuriki is one filled with hatred and misery. I should know. I won't let you condemn our son to a life of hell. You can't stop me, Kushina. Your body is too weak right now. All I can hope is that you will realize that in this world, power is all that matters. Besides, all I have to do is request that the villagers treat Naruto like a hero and they will obey. Forgive me, but I will do what is the right thing to do. Minato disappears in a yellow flash. Damn it, Minato. Have you been hiding this side of you from me? I thought you were a wonderful man, but you just showed me appearances can be deceiving. I've got to stop the sealing. Kushina struggles to get up, but someone knocks her out from behind. I can't let you interfere with the fourth Hokage creating my new weapon. Scene change. Minato appears next to Hiruzen Sarutobi. Minato, what happened? The QB is attacking. The seal failed. Bawako is dead and Kushina is injured. Get a medical team to her. As for the QB, I'm going to seal it inside Naruto. The result will include my death. Until Konoha can find a fifth Hokage, I ask you to retake the seat. Of course, Minato. I have one final request. I wish that Naruto is treated as a hero for being the prison of the demon and that he will also become a loyal Konoha ninja. I will see to it. Goodbye, Minato. Goodbye, Hiruzen. Minato flashes to the QB. Hiruzen turns away. Anbu. The fourth Hokage will not survive this night. Go retrieve his wife, Kushina, from the remains of their hideout. Yes sir. Scene change. Danzo and one of his root agents, who is holding the unconscious Kushina, arrive in a clearing, where a certain rogue shinobi stands, watching the Kyuubi's assault on Konoha. What is it that you want, Danzo? The Kyuubi has attacked us. I know that. That's why I'm here. I want to see if he will succeed in destroying Konoha. He won't. The fourth is going to seal the demon into a human host. This woman is a threat to my plans for the host. I'm giving her to you. She can be one of your experiments or whatever. I just want her out of the way. Who is she? Kushina Uzumaki, the fourth's wife. Interesting. Very well, I'll take her off your hands. Thank you Orochimaru. Now if you excuse me, I have to try to usurp the title of Hokage for myself. Danzo's root agent gives the unconscious Kushina to Orochimaru, then both he and Danzo depart. Orochimaru smiles. Kushina Uzumaki, I think I have better plans for you than using you in an experiment. Scene change. Sir, we couldn't find Kushina anywhere in the hideout. Hiruzen is surprised. What? Why would she abandon her son? Search the surrounding area. What about the Kyuubi? The fourth has that under control. Start searching. Yes, sir. The Anbu head off. Hiruzen stares off in the direction they went. Where are you, Kushina? Please still be alive. Scene change. Kushina groans and opens her eyes. Where am I? Welcome to one of my hideouts, Kushina Uzumaki. Kushina turns to see a face everyone in Konoha knows well. Orochimaru. Why did you kidnap me? I didn't kidnap you, Kushina. Huh. Like I'd believe that. Believe it or not, people of Konoha gave you to me. What? That's ridiculous. It's true. They said that you would interfere in their plans for using the new Kyuubi host as a weapon to increase their power. Kushina starts to answer back to him, but stops. She remembers what Minato said to her. It's true. They're going to turn my son into a weapon. Your son. The boy I gave birth to not too long ago. The fourth used your son. Interesting. Orochimaru grins. This is perfect. This could be the motivation that will get her to see things my way. Oh, my god. Naruto. I've got to get back and get him. It's too late. The sealing is complete. Besides, they won't let you back in Konoha. Why not? You're a threat to their plans. They would sooner destroy you. But, my son, don't worry. I have a spy in Konoha. He will keep an eye on Naruto. What are you going to do with me? Am I going to be one of your experiments? On the contrary, I have bigger plans for you. Such as. I'm sick, Kushina. It's an illness that will eventually claim my life. There is no cure. What does that have to do with me? I've been trying to find a way to escape my sickness, but all my attempts have failed. I want to pass on my knowledge to someone. I want a successor. Me. Yes, you Kushina. You have great potential. Kushina is skeptical. Why not your former apprentice, Anko? She could have been your successor, but you abandoned her. Actually, I didn't abandon her. She left willingly. Then why did you erase her memories? Orochimaru shrugs. To see if she would develop enough hatred to use her curse mark. Suffice it to say, she hasn't. Why should I take your offer? I plan on building a new village. A village for people with great and unique potential. When I die, you will become their new leader. You'll have access to all my resources and research materials. Also, I will teach you all my abilities and techniques. Kushina is hesitant. I don't know. Consider this as well. You'll have the resources and power you need to get your son back. Kushina is silent. I'll give you time to think about my offer. I hope you make the right decision. Orochimaru leaves the room. Kushina just sits there, thinking. Chapter 1. Vanex. Hello all. Here is Chapter 1. Disclaimer. I do not own Naruto. Normal talking. Thinking, dreams, flashbacks. Kyuubi talking. Kyuubi thinking. Scene change. Chapter 1. 12 years later. Naruto sighs to himself. Yesterday, he and his so-called team defeated Zabuza and his apprentice, Haku, on Tazuna's half-finished bridge. Nami no Kuni now considers him a hero, despite Kakashi and Sakura's attempts at making everyone believe that Sasuke defeated both ninja. He shakes his head. I'll never understand why all of Konoha thinks Sasuke is a god, especially those two. It was true, he was praised for every little thing he did. He had the biggest group of fangirls, as well as fanboys. That thought made Naruto shudder. Personally, I think he's gay. I mean, I've seen him running from his fangirls, but never from his fanboys. He shudders again as he stands up. He heads downstairs and ignores the glares he receives from Kakashi and Sakura. Good morning, Naruto. How are you this morning? I'm doing fine, Tsunami. Thanks for asking. Anyway, I'm heading out. Where are you going, Naruto? Naruto glares at Kakashi. He easily hears Kakashi's hateful tone. He knows that Kakashi thinks he is the Kyuubi, just like the rest of Konoha. Sakura just follows the crowd, even though she doesn't know about the Kyuubi. I'm going to take a walk around town and get some fresh air. That's not a problem, is it? Kakashi settles with glaring at Naruto. That's what I thought. Tsunami sighs as she watches Naruto leave. She may be a civilian, but even she could tell that Naruto's teammates hate him and he hates them back. She could also tell that while Naruto may seem to be a normally happy guy, he is far from happy. She only wishes that she knew why. She remembers when she first saw the signs of Naruto's suffering. You don't know what it's like to suffer. Tsunami resisted the urge to smack her forehead. Inari just had to open his big mouth, didn't he? She thought to herself. She waited for the ninja to lecture him or shout back at him, but she didn't expect what actually happened. Laughter. The laughter was coming from Naruto. That's a good one. I don't know what it's like to suffer. That's really funny. It's not funny. It's the truth. Naruto opened his eyes and looked at Inari. Inari stepped back in fear and both Tazuna and Tsunami was shocked. Naruto's eyes looked dead. They were the eyes of someone who had been through hell. The other three ninja didn't notice his eyes. Trust me, kid. There are people who have suffered far more than you have. Yeah, Sasuke-kun's family was killed. Naruto rolled his eyes. Taking into account what Sakura just said, I'll rephrase myself. Trust me, kid. There are people who have suffered far more than Sasuke has. Don't make up stuff, Naruto baka. No one has suffered more than poor Sasuke-kun. Naruto shook his head. Whatever you say, Sakura. But the family of three could tell he was telling the truth. Tsunami sighs again. I wish I could do something to help him. Scene change. Naruto is glad to be able to walk in the streets without people glaring at him or trying to hurt or kill him. It's a good thing that Sasuke got injured during the fight, or we would probably have gone back by now. I want to avoid going back to that hellhole as long as possible. At least you have me to talk to. You're not one to have a conversation with, Kyuubi. One of these days, you'll realize that in this world, power is all that matters and you'll be begging me to let you use my power. I told you before that I don't care about your damn power. You know, you remind me of my previous host. She was just as against using my power as you are. This is a surprise to Naruto. The Kyuubi never spoke of previous hosts. Then again, he never had a real conversation with the Kyuubi before. Previous host. Yes, her name was Kushina. She was a fiery woman. She was someone you never wanted to piss off. Trust me on that. Naruto shivers at the thought. Now that I think about it, you two were very similar. If I didn't know any better I would swear she was your. The Kyuubi comes to a realization. Kyuubi, what's wrong? What was your last name? It's Uzumaki. Why do you ask? The Kyuubi hesitates before coming to a decision. Never mind. It doesn't matter anyway. Okay. Naruto continues his walk. She would have to be dead, anyway. I did break out of her body after all. No former host of any of the tailed beasts has ever survived the separation process. As Naruto continues his walk, he fails to notice a cloaked woman, sitting at a table and staring at him. He really grown up. He's got my face, but his bastard of a father's eyes and hair. Though, I'm sure we can fix that later. But he has gotten really handsome. The woman smiles as she stands up. Her dark blue eyes, partially obscured by red hair, turn yellow and become serpent-like. Soon, Naruto. Soon we will be together again. And no one will take you away from me ever again. The woman takes one last look at Naruto, before she turns away and walks off. Chapter 2. Vanex. Hello all. Before I get started with this chapter, I want to let you guys know that I went back to the previous chapters, especially the prologue, and fixed them up a little. It should be easier to identify the speakers. I also attempted line breaks, but that failed miserably. So, I had to resort to drastic measures. If there are things you still don't understand from the prologue, let me know. Now, with that out of the way, here is Chapter 2. Disclaimer: I do not own Naruto. Normal talking. Thinking, dreams, flashbacks. Kyuubi talking. Kyuubi thinking. Scene change. Chapter 2. 2 weeks later. The third Hokage is sitting in his office, going over the Chunin exam applicants. Let's see here. Teams 7 to 11 are all participating. Mentioning Team 7 in his thoughts has him take a moment to think about one ninja in particular. Naruto, it's amazing how far you've come. Despite this village's treatment of you, you've become strong. I can't help but wonder what would have happened if Kushina had survived. What would have happened if you had a mother in your life, Naruto? He glances over to a picture of Minato, on the wall. You would be ashamed of how they treated your son. He turns his attention back to the applicants. Let's see. We have 1 team from Iwa, 2 from Kumo, 3 from Kusa, 1 from Suna, and 1 from this new mystery village, Oto. I can't help but feel that something is off about Oto. I would have thought that Orochimaru was behind this village's appearance, but all the reports state that the Hokage is female. I'll have to keep an eye on the team from Oto. As he sits back in his chair, he can't help but have one final thought. Something tells me this is going to be one exam that no one will ever forget. Scene change. Naruto sits down on a bench, exhausted. Since Kakashi focuses on Sasuke and Sakura, he trains off by himself. Damn that, Kakashi. He purposely excludes me from training cause he doesn't want me to get strong. After all, we can't have the demon boy becoming too powerful. He sighs to himself as he drinks from the bottle of water in his hand. Mind if I join you? Naruto looks up to see a mystery woman looking at him. Not at all. The woman sits down next to him. You look like something's on your mind, Naruto. He looks at her in surprise. How did you know my name, miss? Oh sorry, I'm the sensei of the team from Oto. Never heard of it. Well, it was recently formed. As for how I knew your name, well, everyone in Oto knows about you. This surprises Naruto. How is that possible? We've always had an eye on you. Yes, we know about the you-know-what, but we don't care about that. 1. How do you know about him? 2. If it's not about him, then why is Oto so interested in me? Well, all the major villages have their own Jinchuriki. All it takes is a little digging around to get the names. As for your second question, Oto is a village for people with unique and great potential. We see that potential in you, Naruto. We want to help you explore it. Hell, you caught the attention of the Hokage herself. How did I do that? She smiles at him strangely. You'll learn how soon enough. So, let me get all of this straight. The Hokage wants me to join her village, right? Pretty much. No offense, but I'm already a ninja of Konoha. Doesn't Konoha treat you like shit? Well, yes, but then why to remain loyal to a village that doesn't want you? Naruto starts to answer, but stops. Let me tell you another secret. As far as you know, no one in this village knows who your parents are, right? Right. It's a lie. What? The Hokage and a few others know who your parents are. They've taken every step to make sure that you never know. Naruto sits back, shocked. Why? The truth is some people in this village want to use you as a weapon. Think about it, Jinchuriki can harness the power of their tailed beast. With that power, they can destroy their village's enemies. They want to turn you into their little, loyal puppet. How do I know you're not trying to do the same thing? Well, the Hokage was a former Jinchuriki, and she swore that she would never treat a Jinchuriki like a weapon. This gets a reaction out of not only Naruto, but the Kyuubi. Naruto, I need you to ask her how that's possible. Because as far as I know, no host has ever survived the separation. Naruto relays the question. Well, she comes from a special clan. This clan was gifted with an extraordinary amount of vitality. Enough vitality to survive the extraction process. Naruto and the Kyuubi both ponder. Anyway, I have to go, Naruto. But before I go, I'll tell you one final secret. She leans over to whisper in his ear. I'm the Hokage. Naruto stares at her wide-eyed. I'll see you around, Naruto. Think about my offer. A place where you can be yourself, without prejudice. One thing, though. I will be testing you during the exams. Testing to see how powerful you've become. Goodbye, Naruto. I hope we meet again. The Hokage walks away, leaving Naruto to think about everything he just learned. I have to admit, there's something familiar about her. Be careful of her, Naruto. You think you've crossed paths with her before? Maybe. I'm not sure. I'll have to think on it. In the meantime, be careful. I will. But I do know this. She wasn't lying about the things she said. A trick I picked up on the streets is how to tell when a person is lying or not. She was telling the truth the entire time. Scene change. After leaving Naruto, Kushina turns a corner into an alleyway. She senses someone walking up to her. Well, Kabuto. Everything is ready, Kushina-sama. Excellent. How was your reunion with Naruto? She sighs. I haven't told him who I really am yet. It's hard. I just want to pull him into my arms and never let go. And you will, Kushina-sama. By the time this exam is over, Konoha's people will have paid for what they have done and you will have Naruto back, forever. An evil smile spreads across Kushina's face. Yes, forever. Vanex. Didn't expect that, huh? Don't worry, there will still be an encounter in the Forest of Death. After all, she did say she will be testing him. Anyway, the seeds of doubt have been placed in Naruto's mind. Will he join Oto or remain loyal to Konoha? You'll have to wait a while before those questions will be answered. Until next time, see ya. Chapter 3. Vanex. Hello all. Okay, there's an element of this story I couldn't make up my mind on, so I set up a poll. I need for this to be decided before I get to the chapter in which this element first appears. So, please vote. I don't want this poll to go like my last one, in which I only got 18 votes. Vote, damn it, vote. Okay, I got that out of my system. I also realized I never posted the URL to my forums so that any of you could look at my challenges. Oops, I could have sworn there was an automatic link, but it seems to have vanished. So, the URL is on my profile page now. With both of those out of the way, it's on to Chapter 3. Disclaimer. I do not own Naruto. Normal talking. Thinking, dreams, flashbacks. Kyuubi talking. Kyuubi thinking. Scene change. Chapter 3. Naruto sighs to himself as he walks with his team into the academy. The Hokage's words have been ringing in his head ever since he met her. Could she be right? Has the old man been lying to me all this time? I gave up on asking him about my parents before I learned how to spot lies. I'll have to ask him about them later, to be sure. What room are we supposed to go to? Asks Sakura. Room 301. It's located on the 3rd floor, replies Naruto. The trio walk up the stairs to the 2nd floor where they notice a large group of ninja outside a door marked 301. Naruto, you baka. The room is here, not on the 3rd floor. Naruto shakes his head. You mean you can't spot that there's a genjutsu on the door? Sakura stares wide-eyed at him. Sasuke steps forward to address the two guards. Drop the genjutsu. This is the 2nd floor. Room 301 is on the 3rd floor. The genjutsu is dropped to reveal the room is 201. Sasuke, you idiot. That was there to weed out the weaklings. You just increased the number of teams against us. It doesn't matter. None of them can stand up to the power of an Uchiha. Yeah, we don't have to worry with Sasuke-kun here. So shut up, baka. Naruto slaps his forehead. I'm surrounded by idiots. And they call me the dead last. Walking up the next staircase, they arrive at the real room 301, where Kakashi is waiting. I just came to wish you luck. The exams can be really rough. Naruto stares at Kakashi. Oh, don't worry, Kakashi-sensei. We'll be fine. The trio walk into the room. Kakashi stares after them. I hope you die in these exams, you demon brat. Then Minato-sensei will be avenged. Scene change. Inside the room, Team 7 meets up with Teams 8 and 10. I didn't think you guys would make it. With the dead last on your team and all. Naruto sighs. Appearances can be deceiving, Kiba. I would watch it, or you'll find yourself in a hospital bed, or worse. Like you could do anything to me. You're a nobody and I'm from the Inuzuka clan. You have no chance. Being in a clan doesn't mean you're all-powerful. Kiba would have responded to Naruto, but they are interrupted by a silver-haired boy with glasses. You guys should keep your voices down. Naruto grins. Kabuto. I haven't seen you in a while. It's good to see you, Naruto. How have you been? Oh, you know how it is. Kiba speaks up. You two know each other. Yes, Kabuto and I go way back. Let's just say, he's saved me from a few tight spots in the past. Kabuto nods. Anyway, as I was saying before, you guys should be careful. Kiba looks at him. Why? Look around. It was then that the three teams noticed all the other teams staring at them, sending ki at them. Most of them are affected, except for Shikamaru and Naruto. Ignoring the people with the pathetic ki, I assume you're here for the Chunin exams, Kabuto. Yes, my teammates are over there. Sakura asks, have you taken these exams before? Yes, I've been through this 7 times. Kiba starts laughing. 7 times. No wonder you're friends with the dead last. Naruto rolls his eyes. Ignore him, he's got a very big ego. As I was saying, being through this system multiple times lets me get a hold of information on the other participants in these exams. This gets Sasuke's attention. Really? Give me information on Gaara of Suna and Naruto Uzumaki of Konoha. This confuses the others. Sasuke wants info on the dead last. Let's see, Gaara. One of the kids of the Cage. 40D rank missions, 16C rank, 5B rank, and 3A rank. This is odd, he's returned from every mission without a single scratch on him. This freaks everyone out. Now for Naruto. His parents are listed as classified. That's weird. 20D rank missions, 0C rank, 1B rank, and 2A rank. This confuses Sakura. What? But we never did any B ranks and only 1A rank. Where are those 2 missions coming from? Naruto speaks up. Well, let's just say the B rank involves Mizuki and the A rank involves a former smuggling operation in Konoha. I would get into details, but the exam will start soon. Besides, Naruto's focus is on something else. Kabuto said. My parents are listed as classified. That would mean that whoever classified them knows who they are. Could the Hokage have been right? Are you Naruto Uzumaki? Naruto looks up to see that another team has approached him. They were wearing headbands with a music note on them. Let me guess, you're the team from Oto. Pretty much. I'm Dosu. These are my teammates Zaku and Kin. I met your sensei a couple days ago. Nice lady. She's like a mother to us. She saved us from the lives we had before. Kin mumbles to herself. If only she weren't so sad. Naruto hears her anyway. What do you mean? Well, she does have an actual child. A son that she gave birth to 12 years ago. But, her son was taken from her and she was sold off by her village while she was unconscious. She swore that one day she would reunite with her son. Sakura and Ino both have tears in their eyes. That is so sad. What kind of people who separate a mother from her child? Naruto answers the question. People who deserve to die. This surprises the Konoha teams, seeing a darker side of Naruto. Being an orphan, if there's one thing I hate, it's when children are forcibly separated from their families. I would never wish the life of an orphan on anyone, for it's a horrible life. Trust me on that. The others stare in awe at Naruto, but the mood is killed when the proctors arrive. All right maggots. Take your seats and shut up. I am Ibiki Morino, your first proctor. Everyone quickly scrambles into their seats. Here's how this exam will work. You have a paper in front of you with 9 questions. You will answer these questions. You will start with 10 points. Every time you are caught cheating, you will lose 2 points. So, if you're caught 5 times, you and your team are out. Also, no attacking any other exam participants. If you do, you and your team will automatically fail. You'll have an hour to answer the questions. Ready? Begin. Naruto takes a look at the questions. Okay, there's no way any genin would be able to answer these questions on their own. Obviously, we have to cheat without getting caught. He looks around the room. Let's see, something is off about the guy in front of me. Wait a minute, I've seen him around before. He's a Chunin already. Must be a plant for people to cheat off of. Now, how am I going to cheat? I've got it. Naruto secretly summons a shadow clone, that immediately transforms into a fly. The fly lands on the desk of the Chunin and studies his answers. Upon dispelling, Naruto copies down the answers and pulls out a deck of cards. Ibiki notices Naruto. Genin Uzumaki. You should be working on the exam, not playing cards. I'm already done. Within 10 minutes. Yep. Ibiki sighs. Fine, enjoy your card game. Wanna join me? Why not? Ibiki pulls up a chair and he and Naruto begin playing card games. 50 minutes later, everyone else is done. Time's up. Okay, now there is a 10th question. However, you have a choice. You can walk out that door and out of these exams, taking your teammates with you and be able to take the exams again sometime in the future, or stick around to answer the 10th question. However, if you or one of your teammates answers the question wrong, your whole team fails and can never take these exams again. This results in an uproar in the genin. You can't do that. That's not fair. Silence. I'm in charge here and it's my rules. Now, does anyone want to drop out? People began to drop out left and right. Until only those who want to take the question are left. No one else wants to drop out. Very well, all those of you who are still here pass. This confuses everyone. What? Let me explain. The first 9 questions were designed to see how good your information gathering skills are. To see if you could gather information without being caught. There was actually a team of Chunin within your group. The 3 Chunin, including the guy in front of Naruto, stand up and walk over to where Ibiki is. As for the 10th question, it was to see if you have the courage to face a possibly no-win situation. You can't choose all your missions. You'll be ordered on some of them by the Hokage without a choice. If you don't have the courage to face each of your missions, then you don't deserve to be Chunin. He would have continued with his speech, but someone crashes through the window. A banner unfolds to reveal the words, "Newly arrived Second Chief Examiner Mitarashi Anko." None of you should be celebrating yet. I'm the second proctor, Anko Mitarashi. Now, follow me. Everyone just stares at her. Ibiki steps out from behind the banner. Bad timing. Anko's sweat drops, then looks around the room. 78. You passed 26 teams. You're getting soft. Ibiki chuckles. We just have an exceptional bunch this year. No matter, I'll eliminate over half of them by the time the next exam is over. Now then, all of you follow me to the next exam ground. The examinees get up and follow Anko out the door. Ibiki goes around to collect the papers. What do ya know? That Naruto kid actually answered all the questions right. I wonder how he did it. He's just as unpredictable as his mother. Rest in peace, Kushina. Scene change. The examinees arrive at a fenced forest. The fence is covered with signs that say, "Danger. Stay out." Anko grins at the examinees. Welcome to the stage for the second exam, Practice Arena 44, also known as the Forest of Death. Vanex. Okay, that's another chapter done. Remember to vote on the poll. Or I'll have a slight difficulty in the future with this story. Vote. Vote. See you all next time. Chapter 4. Vanex. Hello all. The vote is over and the decision has been made. I thank all 178 of you who voted in the poll. It was a bit of a race between the 2 top selected answers, and for a little bit the winner was behind the second place choice. Then the winner regained first place and took a strong lead all the way to the end. You can view the results on my profile page, if you want, or you can wait and eventually, in a future chapter I will reveal Naruto's evil eyes. However, something else happened while the vote was going on. One of the people who selected, other, gave me a rather interesting idea for a dojutsu for Naruto. I liked the idea so much, that I decided to use the dojutsu as well as the poll winner. Now, Naruto will not only have evil eyes, but he will have a dojutsu as well. So I thank the Kitsune Dragon for the dojutsu. The dojutsu will be revealed in this chapter. It's also the reason I was taking so long to release this chapter. I was working out all of the abilities for this dojutsu to have. One other thing, the whole thing with Naruto playing a card game with Ibiki. I had forgotten that I had read that somewhere before. Sometime after I released the chapter, I stumbled upon the story that originally had that. So, it's only right I give credit to the writer of the story Dragon's Soul, Ryusenko. The writer is Twin Silver Dragon. Also, I'd like to apologize for accidentally stealing that. Even though the version I wrote is very different than his, it still shares Naruto playing card games with Ibiki during the Chunin exams. I haven't gotten yelled at yet, so I hope I'm okay. Finally, people have been asking me to try to make my chapters longer. This is my attempt at that, so let me know if it's long enough now. With all that out of the way, enjoy the chapter. Disclaimer: I do not own Naruto. Normal talking. Thinking, dreams, flashbacks. Kyuubi talking. Kyuubi thinking. Scene change. Chapter 4. Enko observes the examinees, reactions to the name of the forest. You'll soon find out why it's called the Forest of Death. Naruto smirks as he knows what's in the forest. Now, before we start the second test, there's something I need to pass out. Enko pulls out some papers. You must sign these agreement forms. There will be deaths in this one, and if I don't have you sign this, it will all be my responsibility. Everyone except Naruto, Kabuto's team, and Akusa team are shocked by the mention of deaths. I'm going to explain the second test, then you can sign it afterwards. Then each team will check in at that booth behind me. Now, in this test you will attempt the ultimate survival test. Around practice arena 44 or 44 locked gates. There's the forest, a river, and a tower inside. The tower is located at the center of the forest. From the gates to the tower is about 10 kilometers. During the survival test, you will have to complete a certain task. Using your weapons and jutsu you will compete in a no-rules scroll battle. Enko pulls out 2 scrolls. You will fight over these 2 scrolls, the Heaven and Earth. There are 78 people here, meaning 26 teams. So 13 teams will get a Heaven scroll, and the other 13 will get an Earth scroll. To pass this test, you must make it to the tower with both scrolls. Naruto thinks to himself, no matter what, at least half the teams will fail. But, then again considering the things in that forest, I would be surprised if there are actually 13 teams left at the end of this test. However, there is a time limit. This test will last 120 hours. Exactly 5 days. Ino and Choji are both shocked. 5 days. What about food? You're on your own. The forest is full of food. Just watch out for man-eating beasts, poisonous insects, and poisonous plants. 13 teams passing is not likely. As the days go on, the distance to the goal will become farther, and the time to rest will become shorter. The area is crawling with enemies, so you won't get much sleep. So, not only will some fail by losing the scroll, but some will die from the harshness of the course. Now then, the things that will disqualify you are as follows. If you don't make it to the tower with both scrolls in the time limit, if a teammate is killed, and you must not look inside either scroll until you're inside the tower. Those that open the scrolls early will have a nasty surprise waiting for them. Also, you can't quit at any time during this exam, you will be in there for 5 days. That's it for explanations. Exchange the 3 signed forms for your scroll, then choose a gate to get ready for the start of the test. I only have one final word of advice. Don't die. The teams sign the forms, collect their scrolls, and head for their gates. Naruto's team gets a Heaven scroll and end up at gate 12. Are you guys ready? The test begins now. The gates open and the teams rush into the forest. At gate 15, 3 Kusa ninja enter the forest, however, once they were out of sight of the gate, 2 of them dissolve into water. The third reaches up and pulls off her hat and wig, revealing her red hair. Now, where are you, Naruto? Scene change. Naruto sighs as he realizes that the AIM ninjas have the same scroll as they did. Shortly after they had entered the forest, Naruto had gone to take a piss. While he was gone, an AIM team attacked Sasuke and Sakura. Thankfully, Naruto returned to help defeat the enemies. Well, we have to keep searching. Let's go. Why should we listen to you, Dobi? Simple. 1. I've been in this forest before and know it like the back of my hand. 2. Unlike you, all my plans actually work in the end, so shut up and follow me. Don't talk to Sasuke-kun like that. He is the greatest ninja ever and you are just a loser. The 3 start arguing back and forth with each other over whether Naruto or Sasuke should be in charge, when a huge gust of wind hits the group. All 3 are sent flying. Sakura and Sasuke both slam into trees. Sakura is knocked unconscious. Naruto grabs onto another tree and holds on until the wind dies down. Sasuke, Sakura, are you guys okay? I'm fine, Dobi. Sakura is out cold. That wind was a jutsu. Who's out there? Show yourself. A woman's laughter fills the area they are in. I told you I would be testing you, Naruto. Let's see how strong you are. Naruto's eyes widen. You. Out of the tree steps the Hokage. Sasuke looks at Naruto. You know her, Dobi. Stay out of this, Sasuke. This is between her and me. Don't tell me what to do. I am an Uchiha. Kushina raises an eyebrow. Huh, I thought I knocked out both of them. Well, I guess I need to get rid of this stubborn fool. Sasuke glares at the Hokage. Like you could do anything to me. I am Sasuke Uchiha. You have no chance against me. Don't provoke her. You have no idea who you're dealing with. Back off, Dobi. No one can stand up to the power of an Uchiha. The Hokage starts laughing at Sasuke's words. Tell me, Uchiha, if your clan is so powerful, then why are they all dead? Sasuke activates his Sharingan. Shut up, wench. You should feel honored to face me. The Hokage looks at Naruto. Shall we? All three move at once. Scene change. Gaara feels a chakra spike that has him shivering. It's her. Mother is afraid of her. Temari and Kankuro shiver as well, knowing who he is talking about. Scene change. Enko is sitting outside of the forest, munching on dango, when she feels the chakra spike. This chakra is so foul. Could it be? She jumps into the forest and heads in the direction of the spike. Why are you here, Orochimaru? Scene change. Sasuke is overwhelmed by the black chakra emanating from the mystery woman. This power, it's incredible. This woman would sire powerful children. She's perfect to be an Uchiha bride. I must make her mine. While he is thinking about thoughts that will never happen, Naruto and the Hokage continue trading blows with each other. Man, she's powerful. It's what I would expect from a Kage. He's doing better than I expected, considering how much help he had from this disgusting village. In fact, I'd say he's definitely ready for Chunin. I'm so proud of him. The two separate and stand facing each other. You're strong, Naruto. I'm looking forward to you joining me. That's if I join. You have no guarantee. I suppose that's true. You said the identity of my parents was being kept from me. Does that also mean that you know who they are? Trust me, there's no way I wouldn't know. Then, please, tell me who they are. The Hokage opens her mouth to answer, but stops and closes her mouth again. Tell you what, it's predicted that this year, too many teams will pass the second exam. So there will be a preliminary round before the third exam. If you can pass the preliminary, I will tell you why I'm so interested in you, as well as who your parents are. But you must not tell anyone about this. Deal. Now, come at me. The two resume fighting. At this point, Sasuke gets his head out of the clouds. Why is she fighting him? He's nothing but a dead last. She should be focused on me. Sasuke Uchiha. And, if I have anything to say about it, her future husband. I won't let the Dobi show me up. I'll kill him. Sasuke does some hand signs. Fire release. Great fireball technique. The two notice the fireball and manage to jump out of the way in time. Damn it. Sasuke was trying to kill me with that. From what I've heard, Sasuke is obsessed with killing Itachi for killing the entire Uchiha clan. Before, I would have helped him as Makoto was my best friend, but she didn't do anything to help my son either, so I say good riddance, she's dead. I will have to have a chat with Itachi, though. One final lesson from his old teacher. In the meantime, what should I do about little Sasuke? Well, I could always finish the job for Itachi. I know. I'll show him just how dangerous it is to constantly crave for power. After all, you know what they say. Be careful what you wish for, you just might get it. She moves quickly positioning herself behind Sasuke. While Sasuke is busy looking for her, her neck extends and her teeth bite down into Sasuke's neck. She retracts her neck and Sasuke collapses to the ground, screaming as an intricate seal appears on his neck, where she bit him. Naruto looks on in curious shock. Not that I really care about him, but what did you do to him? I gave him exactly what he wants. Nothing more. It will be amusing to see what happens next. In the meantime, you've passed my test, Naruto. Here's your reward. She pulls out an earth scroll and tosses it to Naruto. Also, your mother is still alive. This surprises Naruto. What? It's true. And Konoha is responsible for making sure she couldn't raise you. She waits for the day where she can hold you in her arms again, Naruto. Who is she? I told you, you have to win the preliminary round to find out. She walks up to him. Naruto, the proctor noticed our little spar. I have to leave now. To clear you of suspicion of attacking your teammates, I'll knock you unconscious. What should I tell them? That you guys were attacked by a mystery woman. They won't connect that to me. Goodbye, Naruto. I look forward to talking to you again. She chops him on the neck and he falls unconscious. The Hokage quickly turns and leaves. Shortly after that, Sasuke falls unconscious from the pain. Less than 2 minutes later, Enko arrives. Damn it, I missed him. She hears a groan and notices Sakura waking up. Oh, my head. Girl, what happened here? I don't know. All I remember is a huge gust of wind. Oh my god, Sasuke-kun. Sakura quickly runs over to check on Sasuke. She finds the mark on his neck. What's this? Enko walks over to check and gasps. I would say it's a curse mark, but this one looks completely different. Has he upgraded it since we last met? She moves to check on Naruto. The Kyuubi brat is only unconscious. I would kill him here, but the council want the Uchiha to make it past this round. She turns to Sakura. Girl, stay here and protect your teammates. I'm going to look for whoever attacked you. Enko quickly leaves. Sakura goes over to Naruto and drags him over to where Sasuke is, not caring if she accidentally injures him more. Scene change. Naruto finds himself in front of the Kyuubi's cage. What do you want, Fox? Naruto. It's not possible for your mother to be alive. What do you mean? Her name was Kushina Uzumaki, my previous host. What? It was when you told me your last name was Uzumaki that I was sure. Then why didn't you tell me about her before? She's been dead for years, what's the point of talking about the dead? Naruto slaps his forehead. Of course, demons don't view death the same way humans do. There's another reason I called you here. What's that? I don't want a weak host. However, you refuse to use my power. So, I decided to offer you something else instead. And that is an ancient dojutsu that's been lost to time. Naruto is surprised. Why? I just told you. I don't want a weak host. What's this dojutsu? It's called the Kanhekigen or soul-piercing eye. What it does is let you affect a living being's soul and in its advanced stages, attack and even destroy the soul. Naruto is amazed. This dojutsu sounds powerful. However, he is still wary. What's the catch? You'll only have access to the first stage at first and you'll have to unlock the advanced stages on your own. Naruto ponders for a few minutes. Tell me everything the first stage can do. Vanex, the chapter isn't over yet. I'm just making a note here that all the abilities of the first stage will be listed just below the little note I leave at the end of each chapter to try to clear any confusion. Scene change. Naruto groans as he wakes up. You're awake, Naruto. What happened to Sasuke-kun? Give me a minute. Geez, I just woke up. He stands up and stretches and looks at Sakura. We were attacked by a mysterious woman. She was very powerful. She overwhelmed both Sasuke and me. I remember that she bit Sasuke, but not much else. What should we do now? Naruto can see she is frightened. Well, we should head for the tower. We have both scrolls, so we will be able to enter. What? When did we get an Earth scroll? Naruto quickly comes up with another lie on the spot. While Sasuke and I were fighting the woman, I managed to pick her pocket and took her Earth scroll. She must not have noticed. Naruto moves to pick up Sasuke, but is stopped by his chakra flaring. Sasuke stands up on his feet. He is covered in black marks and has an evil grin on his face. He starts laughing. This power feels great. I'm so much closer to killing Itachi. And I'll start by proving I'm stronger than you, Dobi. Fight me and die. Sasuke charges at Naruto, but he dodges him. I guess this is a good time to test my new abilities. Kanhekigen. Naruto's eyes darken, but also glow, like they were constantly flashing. He looks at Sasuke. His soul was dark and becoming darker. He really is corrupt. I'll have to use it. He looks Sasuke directly in his Sharingan eyes. His eyes flash brighter for a second. Sasuke gasps as the black marks recede and his Sharingan shuts off. He suddenly feels much weaker. What did you do to me? I've desynced your body and your soul. I won't tell you everything it does, but I will tell you that you've been cut off from your chakra. Damn you. Sasuke charges at Naruto again, but Naruto easily steps out of the way and chops Sasuke on the neck. He falls unconscious. Naruto picks up the unconscious Sasuke. Let's go, Sakura. I want to get to the tower as soon as possible. What did you do to Sasuke-kun? He's just taking a nap. He'll be fine in a couple of hours. Now, come on. The two head for the tower. Scene change. A few hours later, they arrive at the tower. Naruto sets Sasuke on the floor. Okay, let's open the scrolls. Naruto opens the Earth scroll, while Sakura opens the Heaven scroll. The scrolls start smoking and Naruto's eyes widen. It's a summoning. Get rid of them. The two toss the scrolls, which unravel on the floor and cross over each other. There is a puff of smoke where the two scrolls intersect. The smoke clears to reveal none other than Iruka Umino. Hey, congrats on making it early. What happened to Sasuke? Naruto sighs. We were attacked in the forest. How long were we in there? Only 1 day. The test still has 4 days before it ends, so take the time to rest and prepare. Iruka-sensei. Sasuke-kun has a weird mark on his neck. Iruka frowns and checks the mark. I'll have someone look at it. In the meantime, you two should rest. Naruto nods. Thanks, I know I will. Scene change. Anything else to report, Anko? Anko is standing in front of the third Hokage. No, sir. I couldn't track him. The third Hokage ponders. So, Orochimaru has returned and given Sasuke a new curse mark. He's always had a desire to learn all the jutsu in the world, and the Sharingan would be the perfect tool for him to obtain the goal. Should we cancel the exams? No. If we cancel the exams, he'll know we're onto him. We'll proceed with the exams and wait for his next move. In the meantime, return to your post, Anko. Yes, sir. Anko leaves. What will you do next, Orochimaru? I know you're connected somehow to Otogakure, and I will figure it out and stop you. It's my duty to stop you, my former student. He turns his chair to look out the window. All I can do now is wait. Vanex. And that's it for now. Before any of you ask why Kushina gave Sasuke a curse mark, it's not the same mark Orochimaru used. It has unique properties. I'll say this now, Team 7, except for Naruto, will die during the fall of Konoha. I have their deaths planned out, and the new mark will be connected to both Sasuke and Sakura's deaths. However, I can't wait until I kill Kakashi. I have the perfect death for him. Trust me on that. It's brilliant. Well, see you all next time. Kanhekigan, aka Soul Piercing Eye. First stage, he will be able to see the souls of living beings. Every soul is unique, so he will be able to tell different people apart from each other. He can also see if the soul is good or evil. Good souls will be a bright color and evil souls will be a dark color. Also, he will be able to desynchronize the soul and the body. This weakens the target in multiple ways. First, the victim will feel weak, even if they hadn't done anything to exhaust themselves yet. Secondly, they won't be able to use their full strength or speed due to the desynchronization. It's like in Dragon Ball Z, when Captain Ginyu and Goku switched bodies. Neither was able to bring out their new body's full strength, because their body and soul weren't working properly together. So, what I'm saying is that their taijutsu will be weakened. Thirdly, the victim won't be able to use their chakra. The body will still try to access the chakra, but it won't recognize the chakra. The chakra will still be there in the network, but it will stop flowing through the tenketsu points, even though they're still open. The effects will wear off in about an hour or so. That's the amount of time it will take for the body and soul to resynchronize. Note 1. He must make eye contact to use any abilities that affect the soul. You know what they say, the eyes are the window to the soul. Note 2. The dojutsu is linked to his soul, so if anyone were to take his eyes, they won't get the ability. Chapter 5. Vanex. Hello all. Okay, I never thought that I would get such a reaction at the whole Anko thing last chapter. There is an explanation behind it. It will be revealed eventually. Also, some people asked me if Orochimaru tried to take over Kushina and failed. I will say it now, Orochimaru never created the living corpse reincarnation technique. He died from an illness. Kushina has all his abilities, because Orochimaru trained her to take over for him when he died. She is the second Otokage, Orochimaru's successor. If there are any other questions, feel free to ask. I'll answer what I can that doesn't reveal spoilers. One more thing. I made a screw up when I initially released this chapter. The full details will be written in my author's note at the bottom. Now then, onto chapter 5. Disclaimer. I do not own Naruto. Normal talking. Thinking, dreams, flashbacks. Kyuubi talking. Kyuubi thinking. Scene change. Chapter 5. 4 days later. Team 7, all fully conscious, are standing in a huge room along with the 6 other teams that arrived after they did. The teams were, Team 8, Team 9, Team 10, Team 11, Kabuto's team, the team from Suna, and the team from Oto. Across from teams stands the third Hokage, the team senseis, and the others all involved in the exams, including the proctors. Naruto notices that the sensei for Team Oto was a black-haired woman, instead of the Otokage, until she winks at him and he notices her dark blue eyes. Enko speaks up. Alright, Hokage-sama will now explain the third test. Listen carefully. The Hokage clears his throat. Before we start, there is something I want you to all know. It's about the true reason for these exams. Naruto raises his eyebrow. True reasons. Why do we have all the allied countries taking the exam together? It's to promote friendship among the countries. This exam is a replacement for war among the allied countries. If you go back in time, the current allies were enemies who fought each other for dominance. In order to prevent wasteful fighting, the exams were chosen as the stage for battle. That is the true origin of the Chunin exams. It is a fact that this exam decides which ninjas have what it takes to be a Chunin, but each ninja also risk their own life to protect their land's prestige. Leaders and influential individuals from many countries who provide clients for ninjas will be watching the third exam. They will be watching your battles to determine the strength of your country. If the strength of a country is clearly strong, they will receive more clients. However, if they are seen as weak, they will lose clients. Also, it will send a message to the other countries on how strong your particular country is and, depending on how you perform, either encourage or dissuade them from attacking your country. The strength of the country is the strength of the village. The strength of the village is the strength of the ninja. And a ninja's true strength is born only in life-risking battles. This exam is a place to see each country's strength, and show off your own strength. It only has meaning because lives are at risk. Tenten is confused on one point. But then, why did you say that stuff about friendship? I said it at the beginning, so that I wouldn't confuse you to the purpose of this. Losing life and establishing balance. That is the shape of friendship in the world of the shinobi. Naruto shakes his head. If that is true, then we have one fucked up world. The Hokage continues. Before we begin the third exam, I will tell you one more thing. This is not just an exam, this is a life-risking battle, with your country's prestige on the line. Now, I'd like to explain the third exam, but he is interrupted by a sickly-looking man. Excuse me, Hokage-sama, but as the next proctor, I should explain it to them. Go ahead. Hello everyone, I'm the proctor for the third exam, Hayate Gecko. Before we do the exam, we will need to do a preliminary round to decide who gets to participate in the actual exam. We think that the previous 2 exams were too easy this year. We have too many people remaining. According to the rules, we need to have a preliminary to reduce the numbers. As Hokage-sama mentioned earlier, there will be many guests at the exam. So the fights could take too long. We are limited in time. So anyone who does not want to participate can leave now if they wish, and it won't affect your team, because we'll be starting the preliminary immediately. Kabuto shares a look with the Otokage and steps forward. I quit. You're Kabuto Yakushi from Konoha, right? You may leave now. Naruto is puzzled. Why are you quitting, Kabuto? I'm sorry Naruto, but my body is all beat up. There's no way I'll last. While they are talking, Enko looks at Kabuto's info. I've seen him before. He quit during the final test last year. According to this, he's failed 6 times before. The Hokage looks at her, surprised. 6 times. What kind of record is that? Since his academy days, he was a student who didn't stand out too much. His grades were average and didn't graduate until his 3rd attempt. His completed missions are 2C rank and 14D rank. No spectacular battle history. However, there's something before he entered the academy. Do you remember the boy they brought back from the battle at Bellflower Pass? The Hokage nods. As I remember, a Jonin medic brought back a child of the enemy who had survived the battle. So, he's the boy. Back over with Kabuto, he's thinking to himself. You sure are devoted, Kushina-sama. I would like to ask you to let me handle everything, but... He looks over at Naruto. Naruto, I would like to play with you a little longer, but any more and the old blood will start boiling. I am a spy after all, and can't reveal my true face here. He looks over to the Hokage. You've got everything under control, don't you? I guess my job of gathering information is done, Kushina-sama. One of Kabuto's teammates whispers to him. Don't take selfish actions. Have you forgotten Hokage-sama's orders? I'll let you guys handle it. Especially you, Yoroi. With your abilities, there should be no problems. This is your chance to show your strength. I know you're pissed because I've surpassed you. Hokage-sama's favorite, huh? Don't get too confident, kid. I understand, senpai. But don't call me Kushina-sama's favorite. You and I both know who that really is. Of course, none of us could be more important than him, in her eyes. Kabuto waves to Naruto and turns to leave. As he walks away, he smirks. Sasuke watches him leave, but feels a spasm of pain from the seal on his neck. Sakura moves to have Sasuke pulled out of the exam, but he stops her. Don't interfere, Sakura. Stay out of matters that don't concern you. The Hokage and those standing with him notice Team 7. Are you sure we shouldn't pull the Uchiha out of the exams? Asks Anko. I'm sure. However, if the curse mark starts acting up, jump in and stop him. Hayate coughs. Since no one else is wanting to quit, we will start the preliminary. Since we have exactly 20 people, we will have 10 one-on-one matches. The winners will advance to the third exam. There are basically no rules. The fights will continue until one of you dies, is knocked out, or admits defeat. But when I decide the winner is clearly established, I will step in and stop the fight. It's to make sure we don't have too many corpses. He gestures to a screen. This electronic scoreboard will show the randomly selected matchups for each battle. Now then, let's decide the first two combatants. The word, versus, appears on the middle of the screen. The areas above and below shuffle through different names, before stopping on two names. Sasuke Uchiha vs. Yoroi Ikato. Both of you stay down here, while everyone else, proceed to the upper level. Everyone else moves out of the arena and climbs the stairs to the upper balconies. Kakashi lingers a few moments to speak to Sasuke. Sasuke, don't hold back. You are an Uchiha and won't get into any trouble. Sasuke smirks. I understand. The Hokage smirks. Even with my little gift, which he doesn't know how to use, Sasuke stands no chance against Yoroi. His abilities will settle this fight, easily. Now then, begin. Hayate jumps out of the way as the two begin to fight. Sasuke throws some kunai at Yoroi, but he dodges and grabs onto Sasuke. Sasuke feels his strength leaving him. You're draining my chakra. So you noticed. He keeps his grip on Sasuke, until all his chakra is drained. Sasuke collapses unconscious. Winner, Yoroi Ikato. Everyone except Naruto, the Hokage, the Oto team, Yoroi, and Yoroi's teammate are shocked to see the almighty Uchiha lose. Yoroi goes to join his teammate, while the medics scramble with each other to give their god the best medical treatment. Naruto laughs. So much for the Uchiha. It makes me question whether he was really the rookie of the year. Kakashi glares at Naruto. Just you wait, demon. You will die. Kurenai also glares at Naruto. That damn demon thinks he's so strong. It's a good thing I broke Hinata free of your mind control, you beast. I will watch you die at her hand and I will laugh. After all, you must have been responsible for Kushina-senpai's disappearance. Justice will be served. She feels a ki directed at her and turns to see the sensei of the Oto team giving her the same glare she was giving to Naruto. Why is she glaring at me like that? Kurenai, I was your babysitter. I was like a second mother to you. You've let your anger at my disappearance blind you to the truth. You've disappointed me. I have no choice but to kill you as well. Hayate draws everyone's attention back to him. Zaku Abumi vs. Shino Aburame. Will the two of you come down? The two proceed down to the arena. A few minutes later, Zaku defeats Shino, with his extreme decapitating airwaves, killing all of Shino's insects and sending Shino into the wall. In the next match, Kankuro defeats Masumi Tsurugi, Kabuto's other teammate, by switching places with his puppet. After that, Sakura and Ino face off and the fight ends in a draw. Then Temari and Tenten fight with Temari not just winning, but ultimately humiliating Tenten. The sixth match features Shikamaru and Kintsuchi. Surprisingly, Kin defeats Shikamaru. She uses a genjutsu that allows her to strike Shikamaru with some poison Senbon. The poison quickly spreads and Shikamaru falls unconscious. Naruto Uzumaki vs. Kiba Inuzuka. Will the two of you come down? Yahoo, Akamaru. We get the dead last. This will be easy. All of the Konoha shinobi, excluding the genin, the Hokage, and Hayate, smirk. Kiba will defeat the demon and end the threat to us once and for all. Naruto jumps onto the top of the railing and simply walks off it. Everyone except the Hokage are shocked to see him land on his feet with no injuries being sustained from the fall. Well, Kiba, I would like to get this fight done and over with, so get your ass down here. Kiba jumps. He then runs to the stairs and runs down them to join Naruto and Hayate. You might as well surrender, dead last. I told you before you have no chance. And I told you before that being in a clan doesn't mean you're all powerful. I also said that appearances can be deceiving. Why don't I show you what I mean? The Hokage watches Naruto and Kiba. So that's Tsume's kid, huh? He's nothing but talk. Tsume didn't do much to help my son, either. They will have to pay the price. I'm a little bit sad that I have to kill my old student Hana, as well, but that's the price you pay for your ignorance. Now then, show the foolish mutt your power, Naruto-kun. Now, begin. Hayate jumps away while Kiba quickly uses one of his clan moves. Passing Fang. He starts spinning and launches toward Naruto. Before it hits Naruto, he vanishes. Kiba's attack makes a crater in the ground. Where did he go? Looking for me. Kiba turns to see Naruto standing calmly. Passing Fang. Naruto dodges again. Now Kiba is pissed. Hold still. So that you can hit me with that. You must really think I'm such an idiot to listen to that. Now, is it my turn? Naruto moves fast, striking Kiba across the face. Kiba is sent into one of his two craters. He gets up, obviously in pain with a hand on his jaw. Damn you. Naruto moves again, striking Kiba in the stomach. Kiba doubles over and Naruto grabs onto him. Naruto then smirks at him. Boom. Kiba's eyes widen, but the clone has such a grip on him, that he is at the center of the explosion. Kiba is shot into the wall where his burned and battered body slumps unconscious. Winner, Naruto Uzumaki. Naruto, who was leaning against the far wall ever since he swapped out with his clone, smirks and heads to the stairs. The medics collect Kiba and carry him away. Again, almost all the Konoha ninja are in shock. The demon won. But, how? Kakashi is especially shocked. Where did he learn that move? I didn't teach it to him. I made sure that he was neglected during the training sessions. The Hokage smirks. Well done, Naruto-kun. You've earned your reward. I will finally tell you who I am. Once you join me, we will destroy Konoha together. Kakashi stops Naruto. Where did you learn that technique? Does it really matter, Kakashi? That's sensei to you, genin. You will answer my question or I will charge you for insubordination. If you really must know, I learned it from the same place I learned the shadow clone technique. Does that satisfy you? Kakashi is silent. That's what I thought. Naruto walks back to where he was before his fight was called. The matches continue on. Hinata and Neji face off. Neji severely kicks the crap out of Hinata and would have killed her if the Jonin didn't step in. They are followed up by Gaara vs Rock Lee. After a brutal fight, Gaara defeats Rock Lee. The final match is between Choji and Dosu Kinuta. Dosu wins the fight easily with his sound attacks. With that, the preliminaries are complete. Will the remaining examinees join me down here? The 9 finalists walk down to the arena floor. They stand across from the Hokage and the others again. The Hokage speaks up. Now then, as I told you before, in the main event, your matches will be seen by everybody. Each of you will fight to represent the strength of your countries. I'd like you to show off all your powers with no reserves. Which is why the exams will be held 1 month from now. The reasons are simple. We need time to get all the important visitors into the village. Also, none of you are at your full strength, so it wouldn't be much of a fight. Finally, it gives you all a chance to learn some new abilities to throw your opponents off guard. Now then, Enko will come around with a box. Reach in and take 1 slip of paper and call out the number on the paper. It's 8, says Dosu. I've got 1, says Naruto. 7, says Tamari. 5, says Kankuro. 3, says Gaara. 9, says Kin. 2, says Neji. 6, says Zaku. 4, says Yoroi. Alright, now the final tournament lineup will be revealed. The lineup was as follows. Match 1, Naruto Uzumaki vs Neji Hyuga. Match 2, Gaara vs Yoroi Akato. Match 3, Konkuro vs Zaku Abumi. Tamari will face off against the winner of Match 4, Dosu Kinuta vs Kinsuchi. You are all now free to train or rest for the next month. One more thing though, winning the third exam doesn't guarantee a promotion to Chunin. There will be judges, including myself, the Kage, the Otokage, and lords of various countries. Throughout the tournament, these judges will be evaluating your abilities. Those judged to have the necessary qualifications will be promoted, even if they lose their first match. So there is a possibility that everyone could become Chunin, but on the flip side there is also a possibility that no one could become Chunin. To advance in this tournament means that you will have more chances to appeal to the judges. Thank you for all the effort you've all shown up to this point. You are all dismissed until a month from now. As everyone starts leaving, Naruto notices the Otokage gesturing for him to follow her and her team. The Otokage leads the four to a secluded area of the forest, where she removes the black wig. She turns to her team. I want you three to head back to our meeting room. I will start with your training tomorrow, but first I must give Naruto-kun here his reward. Dosu speaks up. We understand sensei. The Oto team walk away, leaving Naruto alone with the Otokage. Naruto-kun, do you know of the Kyuubi's previous host? Yes, it was my mother, Kushina Uzumaki. The Kyuubi informed me after our last talk. Well, the seal used to keep the Kyuubi contained originated from the Uzumaki clan of Uzushiogakure. There's a clan. Yes, they specialized in fuinjutsu. They were masters in the art. They were also gifted with an extraordinary amount of vitality. It allowed them to live out longer lives than most people. However, they were wiped out during the last war. There are few survivors, including Kushina. But they've all gone into hiding. So, it's pretty much impossible to locate them. Anyway, the seal that was used on your mother to hold back the Kyuubi had one weakness. When the host is pregnant, energy is diverted to help with the development of the child. The seal is at its weakest at the moment the host gives birth. Your father tried to maintain the seal, but he couldn't hold it. The Kyuubi broke free and headed towards Konoha to get his revenge for his imprisonment. Thanks to the vitality boost, she survived. Your father then took you so that you could be used to contain the Kyuubi. Kushina didn't want for you to be used as a host. Heck, her idea was to pull the Kyuubi back into her body. That would have killed her, but the Kyuubi would have died with her. However, your father wanted to make another Jinchuriki, so that Konoha would have a weapon. So he sealed the beast inside of you. Naruto is shocked as he realizes what she's implying. Yes, Naruto-kun. Your father was Minato Namikaze, the fourth Hokage. Why was I never told? I already told you, they wanted to turn you into their weapon. A powerful force who could crush their enemies for them. Naruto is very angry. But then he realizes what she hasn't told him. Where is my mother? Well, after the fourth took you away, she was attacked and knocked unconscious by people of Konoha. They then sold her to Orochimaru, a rogue ninja who was in the area to see if the Kyuubi would destroy Konoha. He took her away because he had special plans for her. You see, Orochimaru had contracted an illness. It had no cure. He spent weeks trying to find a way to avoid his impending death, but he had no success. So he decided to train someone to continue his work after he died. He chose Kushina to be his successor. A few years later, he established the village of Otogakure, a place where people with great and unique potential could live without the scrutiny of others. He was chosen to be the first Otokage. However, he soon succumbed to his illness, but he made Kushina promise to destroy Konoha for him as well as take down the rest of the major villages. As for Kushina, she was selected to be the second Otokage and she is still the Otokage to this day. Naruto's eyes widen as the full implications of what she said hit him. That's right, Naruto-kun. I am Kushina Uzumaki. I'm your long-lost mother, and I've come back for you. Naruto stands frozen in shock. His head lowers. Why? He raises his head again. He has a look of anger in his eyes. Why didn't you come back for me sooner? Because, it was me versus an entire village. I didn't even have a chance at getting you back 12 years ago. So I had someone keep an eye on you while I gathered forces and waited for the opportunity to come in and get you. Also, you had a tracking seal placed on you, so the Hokage and the Anbu know where you are at all times. They would have known the moment you left Konoha. Just so I could be turned into their loyal weapon. That's right. Naruto lowers his head again. I don't know anything anymore. My whole life has been one big lie. I've been purposely isolated my whole life. I've had it. I don't want to be alone anymore. You don't have to be alone anymore. I'm here for you, Naruto-kun. And, I'm never going to leave you alone ever again. You were taken away from me 12 years ago and I've worked hard to get you back. This is the real reason I want you to join me. It's because you're my son. There is no ulterior motive for me wanting you to join Otogaker. I just want my son back in my life. Kushina starts crying. Please Naruto-kun, join me and together we will make Konoha pay for destroying our family 12 years ago. Naruto looks up at Kushina. Now he is also crying. You're really here, Mom. You really came back for me. Yes, Naruto-kun. I'm really here. She extends her arms. Come here, Naruto-kun. Come give your mother a hug. Naruto can't take it anymore. He sprints forward into Kushina's arms. The mother-son duo just stand there in their embrace, crying on each other's shoulder, reunited at last. Some time later, Kushina returns to one of Orochimaru's old hideouts in Konoha, where she is meeting with the Oto team, the Suna team, and Kabuto's team. Only, she doesn't return alone. Welcome to our secret hideout, Naruto-kun. You should be familiar with everyone in this room. Naruto raises an eyebrow at the presence of Kabuto and his team. You guys were spies, weren't you? Kabuto nods at Naruto. That's right, Naruto-kun. I was sent to not only gather information, but keep an eye on you. It was hard to do, especially when you have to keep up with Konoha Anbu. Kushina speaks up. Now then, the Suna team will be trained by their sensei, while I will train my team, along with Naruto for the exams. We will launch our attack during the exams, when all the attention is focused on them. Everyone nods their heads in agreement. Kushina grins evilly, and her eyes change to the yellow, serpent ones. Good. In 1 month, Konoha will burn for their transgressions. And no one will stop us. Vanex. I actually considered ending this chapter at the moment Kushina reveals her identity, but I decided that I have been evil enough with my cliffhangers, so I decided to give you all a break, this time. Anyway, when Kurenai said mind control, she was mentioning Hinata's crush on Naruto. She viewed it as the demon controlling Hinata. When she broke the mind control, she broke Hinata's obsession of Naruto. Hinata is no longer interested in Naruto and, thanks to Kurenai, thinks he's a demon. Also, when Kushina was still a Konoha ninja, she trained a team. The team consisted of Yugao Azuki, Hana Inuzuka, and Itachi Uchiha. I know, it's an unusual trio, but an unusual team would be perfect for Kushina. Well, what did you think of the Uzumaki reunion? Tell me if I handled it well, or if I made the worst reunion scene, ever. This was my first attempt at this kind of emotional scene, so let me know how I did. Now then, the screw-up I made was that initially, Kushina's team was Itachi, Hana, and Kurenai. However, Kurenai is not in the same age group as Itachi and Hana. I thank Haku no Yami for pointing this out to me. I've since replaced Kurenai with Yugao and I changed the story to say the Kushina babysat Kurenai and she views Kushina as a second mother. Okay then, see you all next time. Chapter 6. Vanex. Hello all. Now the only real note I have is for the people who read the last chapter prior to the change I made to it and didn't notice the change. Kushina's team is now, Yugao, Itachi, and Hana. Initially, it was Kurenai, Itachi, and Hana, but someone pointed out to me that Kurenai wasn't in the same age group with the other two. I thank Haku no Yami for pointing that out. Since I made the change, Kushina is no longer Kurenai's teacher. Instead she was her babysitter. Kurenai thinks of Kushina as a second mother. With that out of the way, it's on to chapter 6. Disclaimer. I do not own Naruto. Normal talking. Thinking, dreams, flashbacks. Kyuubi talking. Kyuubi thinking. Scene change. Chapter 6. Naruto sits in the middle of his apartment, shirtless. Intricate markings are drawn on his body, all circling a seal on his back. Kushina, who had drawn the markings on Naruto, takes a deep breath. Okay, Naruto-kun. This will destroy the tracking seal. It took me years to develop this. I will warn you, this will hurt. Are you ready? Naruto nods. Kushina does some hand signs and touches the tracking seal. Naruto screams in pain as the intricate markings seem to be absorbed by the tracking seal. The seal vanishes. Kushina helps Naruto to his feet. Let's go. They will have noticed the disappearance of the tracking seal. Naruto takes only enough time to slip his shirt and jacket back on before they leave. Scene change. The Hokage is sitting in his office, doing paperwork, when he suddenly looks up. Someone has done something to Naruto's tracking seal. His life could be in danger. Anbu. 4 Anbu appear in front of the desk. Investigate the last known location of Naruto Uzumaki. I fear someone is trying to kidnap or kill him. Yes, sir. The Anbu leave. The Hokage puts his head in his hands. Please be alright, Naruto. Man, I'm getting too old for all this stress. Scene change. The Uzumaki duo arrive back at the hideout. We'll have to wait a few hours before the training can start, Naruto-kun. Long enough for the Anbu to give up looking for you. That's okay. I wanted to ask you something, anyway. This is going to sound silly, but is there a way to make my hair like yours? Kushina is surprised. What do you mean? Well, my hair comes from my bastard father, right? Is there a way to change it to Uzumaki red? Kushina grins. That's easy. Come this way. She leads him further into the hideout, into one of the experiment rooms. Sit down on the table. Naruto sits on the table, while Kushina goes over to a cabinet. She rummages through it until she pulls out a bottle with a clear liquid. She grabs a syringe and fills it with the liquid. Now, what this will do is affect your DNA. DNA is basically the template of your body. It determines your gender, eye color, hair color, etc. A person's DNA is their parents' DNA combined. Basically, you carry all the genes of both of your parents. However, half of them are being suppressed by the dominant genes of the other parent. For example, the gene for the bastard's hair is dominant over the gene for my hair. Same thing with the eyes. However, it's reversed for the genes concerning your facial structure. Do you understand? Naruto nods. Good. Now, what this will do is target particular genes and swap the dominant ones with the recessive ones. This one will make the change to your hair. However, this will only affect the roots and any hair you grow after this. For the hair you've already grown, we'll just dye it. Will this affect my hairstyle? I like the spiky hair. No, just the color. She walks up to Naruto and injects him. He sits still for a few moments, before he starts shaking. Whoa, this feels weird. Well, your body is being partially rewritten, so you're bound to feel something. He keeps shaking for a few minutes. After he stops, Kushina checks the base of his hair. A very familiar shade of red could be seen. Kushina walks out of the room for a few minutes, before returning with a bottle of Uzumaki red hair dye. She begins applying it to the remaining blonde hair. Scene change. Sir, we looked everywhere near his apartment. Naruto Uzumaki has just vanished into thin air. The Hokage looks worried. Is there any indication that he's left the village? No, sir. According to the gate guards, no one has left the village within the last hour. Did anyone see him between the Chunin exam preliminary and when he vanished? Not many people pay attention to him, sir. However, someone did say they saw him with a red-haired woman, heading to his apartment. This was about a half an hour before he disappeared, sir. Well, considering that no one has left the village in the last hour, he must still be somewhere in Konoha. Begin searching for him, immediately. Yes, sir. Also, Jiraiya has been spotted in the village. Really? Tell him to report to me, and if he doesn't show up in 10 minutes, I'll have his traveling rights revoked. Yes, sir. The Anbu leave. The Hokage sits back to ponder. A red-haired woman, who would be interested in Naruto. No, it couldn't be, could it? But, she's dead. Then again, her body was never found. If it is her, why did she leave Naruto 12 years ago? And why did she come back now? Hey, sensei. You wanted to see me. The Hokage looks up to see that Jiraiya has entered his office. Yes, Jiraiya. We have suspicions that Orochimaru has returned to the village. What? Why would he come back? We think he is after Sasuke Uchiha, for his Sharingan. Do you want me to train him? No, Kakashi has that handled. I was hoping that you would train Naruto, but someone disabled the tracking seal, and he's vanished into thin air. Naruto. Who's that? The Hokage stares at Jiraiya in shock. What are you talking about, Jiraiya? I don't know anyone named Naruto. Naruto. Minato and Kushina's kid. Your godson. The godson you abandoned 12 years ago in your little quest to track down Orochimaru. Oh, him. Why should I care? What? You should care because he's your godson. So what? He's Minato's kid. You know, your favorite student. Doesn't mean I have to care about his kid. All that matters to me are Tsunade's boobs, my research, and my secret wish that Orochimaru was a woman. Wait, what? Nothing. You heard nothing. The Hokage stares at Jiraiya. Okay, just get out of my office. You are not to leave the village until the threat passes. Is that understood? Yes, sensei. Jiraiya leaves. Fortunately for Kushina, Sarutobi is too distracted by Jiraiya's disturbing desire to remember his thoughts that Kushina might be alive. Scene change. Kushina and Naruto return to the hideout throne room. Naruto is enjoying the fact that his spiky, blonde hair is now spiky, red hair. Kushina sits down on the throne. Naruto, in order for me to train you and my team at the same time, I'll need you to teach me the shadow clone technique. Is it because that they transfer their knowledge back to the host, so you will know the progress of all four of us? Exactly. It doesn't take long for Kushina to learn it. Now, we can get to work. Kabuto. Kabuto enters the throne room. Yes, Kushina-sama. Summon my genin team. Training can finally begin. Kabuto leaves to perform his task. Kushina gestures for Naruto to come to her. He walks over to her and sits on her lap while her arms wrap around him, not wanting to let go. Scene change. Sir, we have searched the entire village. There is absolutely no sign of Naruto Uzumaki. I was afraid you were going to say that. Are you absolutely sure Naruto couldn't have left the village? 100% certain, sir. Very well, you're dismissed. The Anbu leave. The Hokage sighs. This is just great. Naruto has vanished. Minato would be pissed at me. Well, all I can do is hope he turns up for the Chunin exam finals. The sooner he can become Hokage and free me from this job, the better. He spins his chair to face the window. All I can do now is wait. Vanex. That's it for now. With the tracking seal gone and his hair changed, Naruto walks further down his path to evil. I know my explanation of DNA is probably flawed. Anyway, I bet you all are somewhat grossed out at Jiraiya's secret desire. I am too. I also bet you all are pissed that Jiraiya doesn't give a damn about Naruto to the point he forgot that Naruto existed. I want to kick his ass personally, but I think I'll leave him to the Uzumaki duo. See you all next time. Chapter 7. Vanex. Hello all. I don't have much to say right now, except that I have been asked by D the Grim if he could draw what Naruto and Kushina look like in this story and post it on DeviantArt. I said yes. I realize I never gave much description of what they look like in this story. Right now, Naruto is wearing his canon orange outfit and Kushina is wearing an outfit similar to Orochimaru's. That will change in the exam finals. Kushina will wear the Otokage robes, due to the fact she's officially going to be there as the Otokage. Naruto's outfit, on the other hand, I won't reveal early. You guys will have to wait. I personally am excited to see how Dithagrim's drawing of Naruto and Kushina will turn out. If anyone else wants to draw anyone or any scene of this story, let me know. One other thing, when you guys ask me questions, make sure to have the private messaging function active, so that I can answer the questions. That's happened a few times already, where people don't understand something, and I can't explain it to them. Insert Picard facepalm. Sorry about my mini rant. Now, onto Chapter 7. Disclaimer. I do not own Naruto. Normal talking. Thinking, dreams, flashbacks. Kyuubi talking. Kyuubi thinking. Scene change. Chapter 7. Sasuke and Kakashi are training hard outside Konoha. Training, so that Sasuke can defeat both Itachi and Naruto. Sasuke was just taking a break away from Kakashi, when he hears a noise. Who's there? Show yourself. Out from behind a tree, steps Kushina. You're that woman from the second exam. Good. I wanted to talk to you anyway. Kushina raises her eyebrow. What would you want to talk to me about? As the last Uchiha, it is my duty to restore my clan, once I destroy Itachi. I'll need a powerful woman at my side. I have chosen you to be given the great honor of being the new matriarch of the Uchiha clan and for you to be my wife. Kushina stares wide-eyed at Sasuke for a few seconds, before she bursts out laughing. Are you serious? Of course, I'm serious. Uchiha don't joke about these matters. Kushina's immediate response is to reject him, but then comes up with an idea. Tell you what, I actually came out here to help you in a different matter. You want to learn how to tap in that curse seal's power, don't you? Yes, I would do anything to use that power again. Kushina grins. She has Sasuke, right where she wants him. Good. Before I become your wife, I want you to master the seal. Of course, you don't know how to use it. I'll show you how to use the seal, but you will have to prove that you will do anything to gain the power. What do you want me to do? Sometime later, Sasuke returns to where he left Kakashi. Kakashi looks over at him. Yes, Sasuke. Kakashi, I need to return to Konoha. I forgot about the Uchiha scrolls on the Sharingan and their fire techniques. Very well, Sasuke. Kushina watches the two leave, before she disappears in a puff of smoke. Scene change. Kushina is sparring with Naruto, when she pauses. This allows Naruto to land a blow on her. He immediately knows something is up. Mom, is something wrong? I'll explain later, Naruto-kun. Let's just say my plans for disposing your former team are already underway. Scene change. Sasuke and Kakashi arrive back at Konoha. Kakashi, there's something else I need to do. Go get the scrolls from the Uchiha compound, while I go do what I need to do. Sure. Kakashi heads off to the Uchiha compound, while Sasuke walks off in another direction. Scene change. Sakura is home alone, doing her usual thing of daydreaming about her god. Oh, Sasuke-kun, if only you would make me your bride, we would be so happy together. There is a knock at the door. Sakura opens the door to see Sasuke standing there. Can I come in, Sakura? Of course, Sasuke-kun. You are always welcome here. Sasuke walks into the house and closes the door behind him. He proceeds to lock the door. He turns to give a dark look at Sakura. She backs in fear. What are you doing, Sasuke-kun? I'm doing what needs to be done for me to get what I want. Vanex. At this point, Sasuke rapes and kills Sakura. The scene itself has now been removed as of June 4, 2012 to comply with this site's reminder about sex stories and stories with sex scenes not being allowed. Sasuke stumbles to the Haruno's bathroom. He looks at himself in the mirror. His clothes are covered in blood. He snarls. Damn it. Now, I'll need to change my clothes, too. He washes off the kunai, watching the blood go down the sink. As he is preparing to leave, he notices a scroll sitting near Sakura's corpse, somehow clean of blood. He picks it up and opens it. Congratulations, Sasuke. I didn't think you would actually do it. Enclosed in this scroll is a fresh set of clothes and the instructions on how to use my curse seal. Have fun. Sasuke smirks as he channels chakra to the two storage seals on the scroll. He burns the scroll with a fire jutsu as he switches clothes. He then burns his old clothes. He takes the scroll with the instructions on the curse seal, and leaves the house. No one notices him. Scene change. Kakashi returns to the gate, with the scrolls in hand. Where is Sasuke? We do have training to get to. Fortunately for him, Sasuke walks up a moment later. Are we ready to go, Sasuke? Yes, Kakashi. We can go resume my training. The two leave the village. Scene change. Naruto can't help but grin, when Kushina explains to him her exact plans for the death of Team 7. And, you're saying Sakura is already dead. That's right, Naruto-kun. Raped and killed by the hand of the man she loves and worships. The man who she honestly believes that can do no wrong. It's the perfect death for her, don't you think? He nods in agreement as he leans into her again. Training had finished for the day. Kushina had returned to her throne and Naruto was in her lap again, with her arms wrapped around him. Naruto notices that they do this often, but he knows that they are doing this to make up for 12 years of lost time. Ah, I just remembered. There is one more thing I need you to do, Naruto-kun. Come with me. Kushina leads him outside. She pulls out a giant scroll and unravels it. Okay, Naruto-kun. This scroll is a summoning contract. Sign your name on this one, and you'll be able to summon snakes. You'll have to sign with your blood. Naruto nods, bites his thumb, and signs the contract. The name next to his was his mother's. The scroll is rolled up again. Okay, now you just have to perform these hand signs. She shows him. Channel as much chakra as you can and slam your hand onto the ground. Naruto does the hand signs. Summoning technique. There is a large puff of smoke and Manda appears. Who summons me? Oh, hello Kushina. What do you need? I didn't summon you, Manda. He did. Manda turns to look at Naruto. Say hello to my son, Manda. So this is Naruto. Your mother told me all about you. It's a pleasure to meet you, Manda. I look forward to working with you. Well, the boy knows respect. That's something that makes the two of you better than Orochimaru. I was just a tool for him. I approve of you being my summoner, Naruto. I can't wait to see what destruction we'll cause. Manda disappears in a puff of smoke. Kushina grins at Naruto. Well done, Naruto-kun. Manda on the first shot. You did say channel as much chakra as I can. Let's go celebrate. The two walk off to celebrate. Scene change. Sarutobi stares at the scene in shock. Mrs. Haruno had reported that her daughter had been murdered, but this was just gruesome. First Naruto disappears, then Sakura is killed. Are they connected? Sir, we have found traces of semen on her body. She was raped, sir. Have the semen analyzed. We might be able to determine who raped and killed her. Yes, sir. The men go back to work on the investigation. Sarutobi sighs. This month keeps getting worse and worse. Vanex. Oh, man. I have truly gone to the dark side. The last thing I ever thought I would write would be a rape scene. So, do you guys agree about that being the perfect death for Sakura? Let me know. I would have finished this chapter sooner, but my main hard drive began to die. I almost lost everything. Lucky for me, I have a computer whiz for a sister, who transferred everything over to another hard drive. All I had to do was reinstall a few programs. This whole process took over 2 days, but it was worth it. 'Cause now, I have a bigger hard drive. I'm just glad I still have all my files. See you all next time. Chapter 8. Vanex. Hello all. I've gotten some mixed reviews about the rape scene, but the majority of you are okay with it. For those of you who were uncomfortable, I will assure you now that there will be no more rape scenes in the story. Any other sexual content will be normal lemons. I'll be honest, writing the rape scene was outside my comfort zone. However, the scene was necessary. Now then, enjoy Chapter 8. Disclaimer: I do not own Naruto. Normal talking. Thinking, dreams, flashbacks. Kyuubi talking. Kyuubi thinking. Scene change. Chapter 8. 1 month later. Hiruzen sighs to himself in his seat at the arena. Over the last month, Naruto disappeared and Sakura was raped and murdered. A semen sample was taken to identify the rapist. However, the results and sample disappeared, while the scientist who looked at the sample was found murdered. Then, both the bodies of Sakura and the scientist vanish. The Harunos beg the Hokage to search the village. Neither body was ever found. Due to the state of the second murder, the Hokage speculates that someone else killed the scientist to cover up who killed Sakura. A witness did say they saw an Anbu with an odd mask that had a symbol had been at the building that the scientist was found before he was found dead. The Hokage knows that Danzo is covering up the identity of the rapist and has done something with the two bodies. He can't figure out why, nor can he prove Danzo's involvement. He sighs again. This has been one crazy month. Scene change. This has been one crazy month. Dosu shakes his head at Naruto. Did Kushina-sama train you too hard? Not at all. It has definitely been worth it. After the training was complete, Kushina left the village, so that she could arrive officially as the Otokage without raising any suspicions. By the way, what do you guys think of the new look? All 3 members of Team Dosu smile at him. The look suits you, Naruto. It's great to have you on our side. Naruto smiles at them. Now then, let's go kick some ass. Scene change. 2 people join the Hokage in his private booth. Cage, it's good to see you. Likewise, Hokage. The Cage takes his seat. The Hokage looks at the other person and is shocked. The person is a woman, dressed in cage robes that are violet. The The symbol for Oto no Kuni can be seen on the hat. But what shocks him the most is the woman wearing the robes. Kushina. It's been a while, old man. What are you doing here? Isn't it obvious? I'm here to see how well my ninja perform in the finals. But I thought you were dead. Never assume someone is dead when you don't find a body. Then why did you abandon Naruto? I did no such thing. I'll explain while we watch. Very well, but I want the full story. She sits in the remaining seat. The Hokage then turns to the cage. You were the one who recommended Otogakure. Did you know of Kushina being the Otokage? Of course, but she swore me to silence. The Hokage sighs and leans back in his chair. I thought Orochimaru was in charge. What else have I been mistaken about? While he is thinking, Naruto and the three sound genin arrive and join the other finalists. The Hokage stands up to address the crowd. Welcome all to the Chunin selection exams. We are gathered to witness the third and final part of the exam. The remaining finalists will face off in a tournament-like fashion for your enjoyment. Now, sit back and enjoy the fights. I now turn this over to the proctor, Genma Shiranui. The Hokage sits back down as a man down in the area speaks up. Thank you, Hokage-sama. Now then, will the contestants enter the arena? The 9 finalists enter the arena. Everyone is surprised by Naruto's new outfit. Gone was the orange nightmare he was wearing before. He was still wearing a jumpsuit, but it was now black and red. It's his Shippuden outfit, except the orange is now red. Tied around the pants is a belt, is what looks like a blank headband. Over the jumpsuit, he is wearing a black coat, with red flames on the bottom of it. I don't really need to say what I did here. On his head, tied by a black cloth is his Konoha headband. All in all, everyone couldn't help but think that Naruto looks a lot more badass now than he did before. Hell, even his new hair looked cooler. Genma speaks up. Now, then, there has been an adjustment to the tournament lineup. Please study the new lineup to see if anything has changed for you. The new lineup was as follows. Match 1, Naruto Uzumaki vs Neji Hyuga. Match 2, Gaara vs Yoroi Akato. Match 3, Kankuro vs Zaku Abumi. Match 4, Temari vs Sasuke Uchiha. Match 5, Dosu Kinyuta vs Kinsuchi. This surprises everyone, considering that Sasuke was eliminated in the preliminaries. The Hokage shoots up from his seat. What? I didn't make that adjustment. Genma. Who authorized the change to the lineup? It was the council, sir. The Hokage slams his fist on his chair. Damn those two for going behind my back. Well then, the response to this is quite obvious. He is about to call for Sasuke to be disqualified, when Kushina stops him. Wait a minute, old man. Let the Uchiha participate. He did not earn his spot in the finals fairly. According to the rules he must be disqualified. Hear me out, this is an unexpected twist the finalists have to face. It could test how they perform when an unexpected element throws them off guard. You don't have to promote him. Hell, the arrogant prick doesn't deserve it. But he can provide extra entertainment for the crowd. The Hokage sighs. Very well. He then addresses the crowd. I have decided to allow Sasuke Uchiha to participate in the tournament. However, due to the fact that he didn't earn his spot in the finals, he will not have the chance to be promoted. This is my decree. The crowd roars in outrage. Silence. My decision is final. He will participate for your enjoyment and he'll have to wait to go for the promotion in the next exams. The Hokage sits back down as attention is drawn back to the arena. Elsewhere in the audience, the two elders stare angrily at him. Now then, the first match is between Naruto Uzumaki and Neji Hyuga. Those whose names have not been called must go to the participants' booth. 7 of the finalists leave the arena, leaving only Genma, Naruto, and Neji. Neji sneers at Naruto. You should give up. Even with your new wardrobe, you are still fated to lose. Really? What makes you so sure? I am the Hyuga prodigy. Due to my status, it is my destiny to win. You are a nobody, with no family and no status. It is the destiny for all nobodies like you to lose. Naruto bursts out laughing. Oh, you think you are destined to win just because you're a Hyuga? Wow, I didn't think you guys would be as arrogant as the Uchiha clan, but you've proved me wrong. Besides, I do have family and status. Everyone is surprised at his declaration. Hiruzen looks at Kushina. You told him, didn't you? Of course I did. Why would I deny him the knowledge of his family? He was taken away from me, 12 years ago. When I saw my chance to get him back, I took it. Something clicks into place in Hiruzen's mind. You were behind Naruto's disappearance a month ago, weren't you? Of course. Kakashi would never train him, nor would Jiraiya. Besides, it gave Naruto and I time to catch up. I am the son of Konoha's precious fourth Hokage, Minato Namikaze, and his now, ex-wife, the super awesome, second Hokage, Kushina Uzumaki. The whole crowd is stunned into silence. Everyone who knew Kushina look up at the cage booth to see the Hokage lift her hat, so that the whole crowd could see her face. She then calls out to Naruto. Did you have to introduce me, Naruto-kun? Why wouldn't I, Mom? I'm proud that you're my mother. Well, I'm proud that you're my son. Now make me more proud, by kicking the Hyuga's ass. In the meantime, different people are having different thoughts. Kurenai is overjoyed. Kushina senpai is alive. Oh, I can't wait to talk to her. She'll be happy to see me. Both Yugao and Hana are also ecstatic. Kushina sensei is back. I can't wait to show her how much I've accomplished in all this time. Danzo is angered. Damn it. Orochimaru was supposed to dispose of her. And now the boy knows who she is. This will make my attempts at turning him into my weapon much harder to pull off. Well, I still have the Uchiha as my backup idea. Ibiki shakes his head. She's just as unpredictable as ever. Everyone else is shocked that the demon child is the son of their greatest hero. However, even with all the obvious proof, most of the villagers go into denial. He can't be the fourth son. It's a trick. He's a demon. The Hokage stands up. Silence. What Naruto has said is the truth. He really is the son of Minato and Kushina. I can confirm this, as my deceased wife was asked to deliver Naruto when Kushina went into labor. I also have Naruto's birth certificate. With the Hokage's declaration, some of the villagers realize how foolish they've been and fall silent, looking at Naruto with regret. The rest, however, refuse to accept the truth and settle for glaring at Naruto. Neji sneers. It matters not. Even if you have family and status, you are the dead last in your year. Therefore, you are still fated to be a loser. Give up and walk away. Naruto rolls his eyes. You know something. You can't trust academy records, these days. The teachers have a way of sucking up to the clans, by giving them better grades than they actually got. In reality, all they want is to end up in bed with a clan member. They also sabotage people they don't like, making them the dead lasts. Well, actually they try to fail them, but other people stop them. For example, they didn't like Lee's enthusiasm. But Maida Guy interfered. Lee was able to pass as the dead last. Another example would be me, hated by the entire village since the day I was born. The only ones who actually cared were the Hokage, Iruka-sensei, and the Ichiraku family. When Mizuki went traitor, I took him down with the shadow clone technique, which I learned from the forbidden scroll that Mizuki tricked me into stealing. Since Iruka-sensei didn't hate me, I was allowed to graduate. It could also be that I took down a Chunin without even being a genin, but we can discuss this after the fight. Neji growls at him. Genma speaks up. Begin. Genma jumps out of the arena. Neji quickly activates his Byakugan. Naruto raises his eyebrow. Using the dojutsu right off the bat, huh? Why don't I show you mine? Soul-piercing eye. Everyone is shocked again. Hiruzen looks at Kushina. Did you know he had a dojutsu? Not right away. Apparently, he got it from the Kyuubi. Back at the arena, the two start fighting. As they continue to trade blows, Naruto mocks Neji. You Hyuga have one major flaw. You all rely too much on your dojutsu. Hell, your taijutsu style depends on it. They are all that is necessary. We Hyuga are superior. Then why aren't any of them Hokage? Neji growls. Naruto keeps speaking. You think you're so superior. Without your Byakugan, you Hyuga are nothing. I don't need my Byakugan to destroy you. Let's test that. His eyes glow for a minute. Neji gasps and his Byakugan shuts off. What? What did you do to me? Wouldn't you like to know? In the audience, Hiyashi Hyuga activates his Byakugan. What the? His chakra is still there, but it isn't flowing through any of the Tenketsu points, even though they're still open. Naruto smirks at Neji. Well, You said you don't need your Byakugan to destroy me. Prove it. Neji lets out a roar and charges at Naruto. Naruto easily dodges Neji's attacks, due to the fact that Neji's taijutsu is dependent on the Byakugan. I told you. You Hyuga depend too much on your Byakugan. Let me show you just how pathetic you are. Naruto punches Neji in the face. Neji stumbles back. Naruto presses his attack, hitting Neji over and over, until he kicks him away. Naruto then does some hand signs. Wind release. Great breakthrough. The gust of wind sends Neji into the arena wall. Naruto repeats the technique, except he adds fire chakra to it, turning the attack into a flamethrower. It sets Neji on fire. Neji screams as the fire burns him. Genma quickly interferes and douses Neji with a water jutsu. Winner, Naruto Uzumaki. Today is a day for people to be constantly shocked. The dead last demon boy, just defeated last year's Rookie of the Year in the Hyuga Prodigy. The medics arrive and carry the burnt Neji away. Kushina is ecstatic at Naruto's victory. I'm so proud of him. The Kage nods. I have to admit, your son has proven himself. He'll probably face my son in his next fight. It will be exciting to see. The Hokage is silent. While the fight had been going on, Kushina told him about her kidnapping. Damn that Danzo. I should have known he would do something like this. However, I can't help but feel that something isn't right here. There is more going on with Kushina than meets the eye. I just hope I can figure it out in time, before it can spell doom for this village. Vanex. Okay, that wraps up this chapter. Naruto's got a new outfit and is kicking ass. Neji got burnt to a crisp. Well, I found a way to incorporate Sasuke into the finals. Will he show up in time for his fight? None of us really care about Sasuke, but we care enough to want to see him getting his ass kicked. See you all next time. If this emotional Naruto moved you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Fox Fanfiction. Your support helps us tell stories where love changes destiny. Thank you for watching. Folded Hands Fire Cyclone.